The butterfly effect of kindness, small acts igniting global transformations. Imagine a world where your smallest gesture could literally change the course of history. What if the coffee you bought for a stranger today sparked a chain reaction that led to a community movement, which inspired a policy shift, which ultimately contributed to global peace by 2030? It sounds like fantasy, but it isn't. This is the undeniable truth of the butterfly effect of kindness. The quiet reality that small acts of compassion don't stay small. They move. They spread. They multiply. And in this video, we're going to explore how seemingly insignificant choices ignite massive transformations across communities, nations, and humanity itself. The whispering ripple, from one to many. Not long ago, a simple news story made the rounds. A woman stood in a grocery store checkout line and noticed the person ahead of her quietly removing items, counting money, embarrassed, overwhelmed. Without making a scene, she stepped forward and paid the difference. No cameras. No speech. No expectation. But someone else in line shared the moment online. Within weeks, that single act inspired a community food fund. Local businesses began donating weekly groceries, and volunteers organized delivery routes for families in need. What began as one quiet decision became a sustained system of care. This is how kindness moves. Not like a wave crashing loudly, but like a whisper that travels farther than anyone expects. The butterfly effect is often described like this. A butterfly flaps its wings in one part of the world, and weeks later, it contributes, ever so slightly, to a storm forming somewhere else. Not because the butterfly caused the storm directly, but because small changes in interconnected systems amplify over time. Kindness works the same way. The question is not whether something small can lead to global change. The real question is, how often does it already happen, without us noticing? Unseen threads, the interconnected web. History is filled with moments where a single compassionate choice shifted the direction of entire societies. A leader choosing mercy instead of punishment, opening a door that decades of force never could. A diplomat listening instead of posturing, creating trust where hostility once lived. A citizen refusing to dehumanize another, sparking movements rooted not in anger, but dignity. These moments rarely make headlines at the time, but years later, we see their weight. Because kindness is not passive. It is strategic empathy. It alters relationships, softens resistance, and opens paths that power alone cannot. There's also something called social contagion. Emotions spread. Behavior spread. Beliefs spread. When someone experiences kindness, they are statistically more likely to offer it to someone else. Not because they're told to, but because the nervous system remembers safety. Compassion creates permission. And permission travels fast. One person helps another. That person feels seen. They show patience later that day. Someone else witnesses it. A workplace culture shifts. A community responds differently to conflict. No single moment looks revolutionary. But together, they change the atmosphere. The tipping point, collective momentum. Now imagine this. One act of kindness becomes 2. 2 become 10. 10 become thousands. At some point, something remarkable happens. A tipping point is reached. When enough people engage in compassionate action, kindness stops being an exception and becomes a norm. We've seen this in recent years. Online kindness challenges turning into real-world aid. Crowdfunded relief efforts delivering clean water, shelter, and education. Strangers across continents coordinating support in hours, not months. Technology didn't create compassion, but it amplified it. It allowed small acts to travel farther than ever before. A message sent from a phone can mobilize a village. A story shared online can awaken millions. Psychologically, when people see kindness modeled at scale, something shifts internally. Cynicism weakens. Hope strengthens. People begin to believe. Maybe my actions matter. And belief is the fuel of change. Let's look at what this actually looks like in the real world. Case Study 1: Clean water through collective care. What began as a single volunteer group repairing one broken well grew, through shared stories and transparent impact, into an international network funding clean water systems. Not through governments first, but through ordinary people choosing to care. One village gained water. Then 10. Then hundreds. Health improved. Education increased. Economic stability followed. The origin? One small group refusing to look away. In another part of the world, a handful of families volunteered to help resettle displaced refugees. They offered rides, language help, friendship. Those families shared their experience. Not as heroes, but as humans. Within a year, entire neighborhoods organized housing support, job placement programs, and cultural exchange initiatives. The impact wasn't just logistical. It restored dignity. And dignity is contagious. After a natural disaster, one person started cooking meals for neighbors. Photos circulated. Others joined. Soon, food hubs formed. Supply chains emerged. Global donations followed. Not because someone planned a movement, but because someone acted. Each of these began the same way. With one choice: to be kind, when it would have been easier not to be. Now here's the most important part. This isn't about extraordinary people. It's about ordinary choices. Every act of kindness you offer, no matter how small, enters a web far larger than you can see. You may never witness the final impact. And that's okay. Because transformation doesn't require visibility. It requires participation. In 2026, kindness can look like supporting ethical businesses, donating intentionally, even in small amounts, checking in on someone silently struggling, choosing patience in moments of tension, engaging in your community, not perfectly, but sincerely. None of these actions are insignificant. They are seeds. And seeds don't announce forests. They simply grow. The world doesn't change only through power or policy. It changes through people, choosing compassion again and again, until it becomes unstoppable. Your kindness matters. Your presence matters. Your smallest gesture, maybe the butterfly wing, that sets something beautiful in motion.